everyone, we're out here at IMB 2022 here in Nashville. We asked some of our friends what they think IMBs can do to make smarter tech decisions in 2022. Here's what they had to say.
So the question often comes up about how lenders can make the appropriate tech decisions for 2022. And in my opinion, what I am seeing good lenders do and good loan officers do is pay attention to what benefits their clients. So there are a lot of bright, shiny objects out there, a lot of great technology, a lot of great vendor products that are being offered. But the question is, I think, best answered by asking what clients really need and use and how loan officers can best benefit their clients. So an easy example is when loan officers and brokers are talking to clients. How do those clients like to be communicated with? Is it via in-person conversation? Is it via US mail? Is it via text? Is it via phone call? Is it via fax? Is it with a little message tied on to an owl's talon that flies through the window? So good loan officers, good brokers, good account executives are very tuned into what kind of method that clients like to have in terms of communication. The same with technology. I think that it's important to listen to clients, and it's important for senior management to listen to what their originators are telling them makes sense in terms of how best to help their clients. So some technology might be really cool, but if it's not of use, what's the point of it? So I think the senior management out there needs to listen to what's going to benefit clients in a cost-effective, compliant way, and that's a recipe for success.
I think the way that IMBs could make smarter, wiser decisions in 2022 is most of all by looking into different services, having an open mind, and really being interested in the process and learning how it's going to make the customer experience better. I think at the end of the day, we all know that technology makes the customer experience better, and if we're not looking out for the safety of the customer, by I mean that, less stress, then you're not really doing a service. So I would say get involved, look at all the services, and really get interested in the process of the customer experience.
IMBs can make smarter tech decisions by really looking for true technology partners like Mortgage Builder and BeSmartee, who really have shown that they can be the best of breed solutions with tightly integrated two-way solutions, and then also offer just a single point of contact so that compliance to manage your vendors, and then also to make sure that you have someone dedicated to the expertise of each one of those partnerships that they can come back to one source, and knowing that there's a great relationship, which really should be researched by every independent mortgage banker for the tenure and length of those relationships to make sure that they're going to get a complete enterprise solution with all of the options available to them to bring on the latest technology all along the way of their agreements.
All right, the question is, how can IMBs make smarter tech decisions in 2022? Well, I'm sure you've been researching all of your potential vendor partners and you've been looking at what your business needs are. It's time to execute. This is definitely a grinded out kind of year, looking for purchase business. There's a lot of infrastructure in the whole system. Tons of underwriting capacity, tons of loan officers, a little bit less loans, and hunting down purchase business is so critical for survival this year. So hopefully your tech and your new tech stack helps you solve that problem and go out and build our communities together.
I think one of the things that IMBs can do this year, and just kind of moving forward to make better decisions, is two things. One is look for innovation. Look for companies who are trying to build things in new ways, because our market more than ever needs innovation. I've been in the industry for 23 years, and I can tell you that most of the systems that I was using 23 years ago as a loan officer are still what's being used today to do mortgages and to talk to customers and to process loans. That's going to change. So looking for innovation, and then also really looking at your tech stack and understanding, what is old, what legacy software do you have, what is not going to serve you in 5 years from now. Because when the technology race continues to grow, and it has been, and you see more technology come into our space, and over the next year or two, as people try to really become hyper efficient, they're going to use technology. That's one of the things that you're going to have to really pay attention to, is what software do you have. And I always like to ask the question, when was it built, right? What was it built on? If it's 20 years old, then chances are it's probably not ready for today's modern market. Things have definitely changed. So I think lenders really need to look at, how old are their systems, and then how innovative are as a company. How often do they do new product releases? How often are they updating things? Because that's what's really going to ultimately drive, success and help you have a technology platform that you can work with, now and in 5 years from now and 10 years from now.
I think a really smart decision that IMBs can make with regards to technology is understanding when to build versus buy. And the reason Argyle works with players like BeSmartee is they can do the work up front to integrate various different vendors and the best of in each category into a cohesive flow. And so knowing when to go it on your own and work with a partner is a really important tech decision to be able to make.
Yeah, so that's a great question, how IMBs can make smarter tech decisions in the coming year. In my experience as an attorney, I find that a lot of times my clients don't spend a lot of time on their agreements, don't look very carefully at what the rights are for the parties in the agreement, what the obligations are, and what the expectations need to be spelled out in the agreement. So that everyone knows what each side is going to be responsible for. I think it's important to make sure that's all spelled out in writing. So I'd say that's probably the single best thing that I would recommend.
So the IMBs, the way they can make better and smarter tech decisions for the independent banking community going into 2022, I think is really engaging with the vendors that they're working with, and really having someone that is responsible for understanding the technology that's being developed out in the marketplace today. At BeSmartee, we're constantly adding new technology. So I would say engage with your vendors frequently and often. It's not a one and done decision, and make them aware of the efficiency gains that they can get by bringing technology such as BeSmartee into their organization.
Well, that I think is a really good question, and I think this is a year where everybody has a little bit more time to look into things. And I think the last couple of years have been so crazy that people really didn't look into what vendors have to offer. They didn't dive into their solutions. They really didn't take the opportunity to see where the lift could be and where they could actually save money by outsourcing, by looking into say, what does this outsource, this CRM have that can do all these other things with one thing instead of using 15 different options and signing all these long-term contracts and not understanding there's crossover and ending up costing a lot more money than taking a trusted source maybe that they had or something they haven't looked into, that they walked by how many shows and seen a booth but never stopped. So I think this should really be a year of exploring and taking those meetings and really understanding what tech stacks are out there to understand. And this is also a year of compliance. Are you going to look into leads per se? And do you understand TCPA? Do you understand how to protect yourself? So as you're going outside of your box, are you resourcing to make sure you know how to stay protected? So I'd say compliance and being super, super smart about what's available to you to cost you less money, because there are really smart companies out there that are already doing it better.
And so to be really, really impactful together, if they don't work well together, either find someone that works better. So if you have a couple of core technologies that you really, really want to work with, then start finding partners that really work well with them. Not just say we can integrate with them, we can work with them, but we do work with them. We have a plan. There's a benefit. 1 + 1 = 3. There's a compound effect where we're mutually interested in the results that you're going to create through this partnership. That is the key, is strong integration, strong partnerships between technologies that when you add them together, it's not a 1 + 1 = 2, it's a 1 + 1 = more, right?